the heart of Yorubaland, a storm brewed. Not for days, not for months, but for 16 relentless years. A war of resistance, a clash of ideals, a struggle that shattered the spine of an empire. This was the Kiriji War, or as the warriors who lived through its fire called it, Ogun Ekiti Parapo. Long before cannons roared in Imesi Ile, before Ekiti's hills rang with battle cries, there was Ibadan, a city not born of peace, but forged in war. After the fall of the Oyo Empire in the early 1800s, warriors, refugees, and mercenaries gathered on a hilltop to build a new fortress, Ibadan. What began as a humble defense camp quickly rose into a city of conquerors. Built on blood, driven by ambition, Ibadan rose. They crushed Ijai, overpowered the Egbas, and one by one they brought the Ijesa, Ekiti, and Igbomina towns to their knees. Ibadan became the military titan of Yorubaland, commanding tens of thousands of battle-hardened warriors. With commanders like Oluyole, Ogunmola, and Are Latusa, they marched with one mission to rebuild the fallen Oyo Empire under Ibadan's rule. But power, left unchecked, soon turned to tyranny. Ibadan didn't just demand tribute, they dominated. They sent Ajele, armed agents, to enforce their rule. The Ajele were not mere messengers. They were enforcers agents of Ibadan's iron will. Sent into conquered towns, these men ruled like warlords, answering to no king but their own. They came with soldiers, with muskets and machetes, and with orders to break the spirit of any town that dared resist. The Ajele seized farmlands, demanded tribute, and claimed the best of every harvest as Ibadan's due. Those who objected were flogged publicly or disappeared entirely. They did not rule with diplomacy, but with dread. Women were not safe, neither were daughters. Kings were reduced to puppets, forced to bow before men they once outranked. In some towns, festivals were banned, market days were taxed, names were changed, even prayers had to begin with Ibadan's praise. The Ajele weren't just rulers. They were a daily reminder of Ibadan's supremacy, an occupation masked as governance. Push a people long enough, steal their voice, bury their dreams, and what you get isn't silence, it's defiance. Because defiance runs in our blood. It's not taught, it's inherited. Even the meek will rise when cornered. And when fear turns to fury, resistance stops being a choice. It becomes survival. In Ekiti land, in Ijesha, in Akoko and Igbomina, fear gave way to fury. A storm was gathering, and in a quiet corner of Ekiti, Okemezi town, that storm finally broke. During a sacred festival, word reached a young warrior and prince, Fabunmi Abe Adesoye. The Ajele's men had desecrated a local shrine, stolen food meant for the gods, and brutalized the town's women. Blazing with fury, Fabunmi stormed the Ajele's quarters, cutting down everyone in his path. His blade showed no mercy. At the heart of the chaos, he killed an Ajele named Oyepetun. The spark had become a wildfire. Rebellion had begun. As word of the Ajele's execution swept through the land, it awakened a rage that had long been buried. In Ekiti and Ijesha, chiefs, kings, and warriors who had lived in fear now rose together against Ibadan's rule. At the palace of the Ure of Otun, the warlords of Ekiti gathered. There they declared one word that shook the land, Otoge. Enough was enough. And from that defiant cry, the Ekiti Parapo, the great Ekiti Confederacy, was born. Sworn by sacred oaths, bound by blood, they pledged to fight Ibadan's tyranny, no matter the cost, to the very end. Ekiti had no standing army, no cannons, no advanced weapons, but they had will. They had the hills for shelter, herbalists for protection, and an unbreakable love for freedom. New allies rose beside them, first Ijesha, then Igbomina, Akoko, and even the ancient kingdom of Ife.